Week 3 of Swiss Top Tier Ice Hockey. We are live from Midco Arena in Briarwood as the Pharaohs coming in 0-2 yet to score against the 1-1 Greenhaven Clovers. The Clovers wear white along with their bright lime green accents. In their alternate reds are the Briarwood Pharaohs. We are underway here in Briarwood as Murphy has a face-off back in his own zone, drops it back to Thompson, and Ellison will pick up the puck for the Pharaohs. A lot of shots, but yet to score. There's a shot there, saved, goes wide. Pasternak up to Nikushin. Lund carries it in the zone for Briarwood, looking to find the front of the net, or rather the back of the net. Bobrovsky rips one on Anderson, and Anderson will cover this one for the first stoppage of play in this game. Greenhaven coming off a great win against Zaxton last week. There you see Nazem Kadri will take the face-off against Ellison. One back by Ellison. Zabo over to Mula. Rips one on net successfully. Another shot that does not go in the net for the Pharaohs. This one offsides, accidentally carried in the zone, and will have another stoppage of play. Briarwood back home after facing South Andrews last week. They lost in a shutout against Jeremy Swayman and the Solars. A 1-0 victory for South Andrews. Their first game was back home here in Briarwood at the Midco Arena. They were unsuccessful in a 2-0 loss against the Jevelet Thorns, who are now also 2-0. Carried into the zone, 1-on-3. Murphy over to Kadri. Covered by Materi, and will have a stoppage of play with 13 to go in the first period. Great offense on paper, but like we've said, plenty of shots don't mean anything unless they hit the back of the net, and so far nothing has happened for Briarwood. Face-off won there by Bedard. Up the ice to Glendenning. Loses the puck, Foligno. Bodied by Morrissey, Tanev. Loses the puck, Foligno. Puck bouncing back out of the zone. Glendenning loses the puck. Now Murphy has it, carrying back into his own defensive zone for Greenhaven. Pressure put on Morrissey. On Foligno, puck bounces to Engvall. Engvall loses on the poke check. Picks it back up in the corner. Great shot on net. Bounces wide of Materi. Morrissey drops it to Glendenning. Back to Morrissey. Passes intercepted. Hall now looking to carry it in the zone, but there's an injured player for Briarwood in the offensive zone. They're forced to regroup. Bedard dumps it deep. Taylor Hall circling the net. Picked up by Forsling. Engvall up to Sissons. Nobody with him. Keeps it himself. Great shot on the play. He stays with it. Bedard now looking to get something done on offense. Pass intercepted by Tage Thompson. Murray up to Pasternak. The other way for Greenhaven. Kuznetsov keeps it himself. Unintentionally drops it to Jack Eichel. Rips one on Anderson. And another shot stopped short of the net against Briarwood. Elias Pettersson on the ice alongside Jack Eichel and Kuznetsov. Puck won by Eichel back to Drysdale. Rips one on net. This one bounces way wide. Pettersson keeping it himself. Rips one on net, covered by Anderson, and it'll be another stoppage of play with 3 minutes to go in the first period. Still scoreless. Offense well in possession so far this period for Briarwood. Face-off one back to Gotspa here. Drysdale rips one on net. Anderson drops it wide for Pasternak. Pasternak carrying it out of the zone. Drysdale forces him to dump into the zone. Lund up to Bobrovsky. Centered, intercepted by Pasternak. Recuperates and now has a 2-on-3. Tage Thompson ends up getting one through, and with 15 seconds left, we'll have a stoppage of play in the Briarwood defensive zone. Bright green helmets for the Clovers. They're looking to continue on their momentum that they picked up last week at home against Zaxton. 15 seconds, Bobrovsky carrying it out of the zone. Will take it himself, nobody with him. Blocked by Bean. Lund loses possession of the puck, but the horn sounds. We have a scoreless game after one here in Briarwood. Surprisingly, Greenhaven, the more physical team, 6-5 in a close hit contest, but shots well in favor of the Briarwood Pharaohs. We're underway for period 2, live from Midco Arena. Szabo, carrying it himself into the zone, drops it back to Ellison. Ellison rips one on net. This one bounces wide off the pad of Anderson. Thompson now carrying it into the neutral zone for Greenhaven. Pasternak, back to Thompson. Intercepted by Ellison out of the zone. Bobrovsky looking to get something done as he dumps one to Ellison, and this one saved by Anderson. Another great save. Whether it be Greenhaven or the two previous opponents, whoever's in net against Briarwood seems to be having phenomenal games. Toss-up face-off, one back to Greenhaven. Murphy carrying it backwards, trying to find some kind of offense. Nikushin. Puck bouncing around, picked up by Nikushin. A body on the play, and now a fight breaks out between Tage Thompson and Peter Lund. Thompson lands the first big hit, and now firmly in possession of Lund is this fight, as the Swede looking to take down Tage Thompson, and he does with a great right hook. And that'll end the fight in favor of the Pharaohs. So far, 2-0 on fights this season. Szabo had a great win over Mark Stone last game, despite Stone having the only goal in that contest. 15 minutes to play here in the second, still a scoreless game. And now a face-off won by Jamie Benn. Benn, looking to find something, unable to do so, is bodied in front of the net. Bobrovsky out to Elias Pettersson. Pettersson trying to dump one off for Ellison, unable to get through. Pettersson breaks up the pass. Murphy has it in the corner. Breaking out to Pasternak, intercepted by Pettersson. Morrissey over to Tanev. Tanev rips one, blocked by Ben on the play. Ben has it himself, a 1-on-3. Ends up dumping it into the zone. Ellison regrouping behind the net, up to Elias Pettersson. Bean over to Engvall. Sissons. Lose the puck. Morrissey winding it around his own net. Great pass up to Glendening. Glendening trying to beat the defense, unable to do so. He's held up on the side. And now Sissons will try to take it out of the zone. And Bean has it at center ice. Drops it to Foligno before he's hit. Morrissey picking it up for the Pharaohs. Up to Hall. Hall carries it in the zone. Great moves there. Rips one on net. This one in possession of Glendening. Don't think he knew he had it. And the puck eventually frozen by Anderson as yet another great scoring opportunity comes up short for Briarwood. Fourth line's out there for either squad. Face off one back to Max Szabo. Moser in possession for the first time, loses it to Bellows. Up to Watson. Mula trying to get through, and it's offside as Manson unintentionally carries it into a blocked zone. 5.5 to play here in the second period. Still scoreless. Puck drops. Face off one back to Szabo. Mula has it now. Rips one on net. Blocked by Anderson. And the slap shot approach that worked very well last year for the most part, they ended up third in the final standings, is so far not working offensively for Briarwood. Sillinger fails a pass up to Szabo, and this will be icing back in the defensive zone for Briarwood. Fourth line's still on the ice. 3 minutes of play left in the second. Great play defensively for Briarwood. Motti picks it up and dumps it back in the zone for Greenhaven. Moser scuttles it past, and Moser rips one. Great shot. That one off the crossbar. Kadri picks it up to Ben, and yet another failed goal opportunity for Briarwood. Nothing is going in the net. Ben loses the puck. Sillinger now Tries to drop it to Moser. It's picked up by Arvidsson, and now Oli Mata has the puck in the defensive zone. As there's the horn as the second period ends. 0-0 the score here. And for the second game in 3, Briarwood entered the third period in a scoreless contest. 15-4 in total shots, and that's actually how last game looked about this time for Briarwood, despite being down 1-0 to the South Andrews Solars. They are also winning in hits and time on attack, as well as faceoffs won. No excuse for not having scored yet so far, except the puck just not finding the back of the net. Tage Thompson wins the faceoff back to Forsling. Bodied by Mula. Thompson retains possession and dumps it deeper in the zone for Greenhaven before it's broken out, or tried to be broken out by Lund. Bend keeps it in the zone. Picked up on the play. Puck still not out of the zone. Zabo trying to break it out for the Pharaohs. Up to Bobrovsky. He is picked up on a play, and we'll see if this is a slash. It is a call on David Pasternak, who will go to the box for the first penalty of this game. So a power play for Briarwood, and they look to get something done. Eichel wins the faceoff to Pedersen. Morrissey rips one on net, doesn't get through the defense. Morrissey dropping it back to Gospahir. Gospahir loses the puck to Engvall, and he will dump it down the ice as the Pharaohs forced to regroup. Morrissey. Eichel scuttles it past the defense. On net, Murphy picks it up in front. Engvall dumps it again. Morrissey forced to regroup for Briarwood. Pedersen trying to get past the defense. Murphy is able to stop him, and Gospahir behind the net now. Trying to find Pedersen. Pedersen rips one. Great save by Anderson. And the power play will expire, but a face-off in the offensive zone for Briarwood with 14.5 to play in regulation time. Eichel against Thompson. Won by Eichel. They were formerly teammates back in the United States playing for Buffalo. Elias Pettersson rips one on net, picked up by Anderson, and he will freeze this one standing up. That one thrown right into his chest, the big clover target on his white chest jersey. This one won to Ellison. Morrissey back to Tanev. Tanev rips one on net, and he scores! Eric Bobrovsky, a great tip. And the first goal of the season for the Pharaohs belongs to Eric Bobrovsky off the shot from Tanev from the point. And it's a 1-0 lead for the Briarwood Pharaohs as a great start to this game finally results in a goal. The seal has been broken. Pasternak over to Jamie Benn. Loses possession. Ellison. Great move along the side there. Rips one over. And Murphy intercepts yet again in front of the net. It'll be a power play for Greenhaven as a slash now called on Eric Bobrovsky, who has the only goal so far this game. Greenhaven, their first power play. Look to get something done. They have Engvall, who loses the face-off there to Briarwood. Taylor Hall now carrying it in the zone, shorthanded. Goranov sticks with it. Glendenning will toss it back to his own defensive zone to kill time, apparently. And Zabo picks it up and will try to rip it to Hall, unable to get through. Engvall intercepts. Picked up by Mula, drops it up to Glendenning, who will simply throw it the length of the ice. Zabo on Ben now. Guranov. Kadri. Arvidsson, 2-on-1. Mula picks the wrong guy, a shot on net, but it's a great save. Bobrovsky now out of the box. It's 5-on-5. And now Engvall loses the puck to Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky carrying it himself. Picked up by Nezem Kadri. Ellison lays the body on the play. It's back to Engvall. Engvall unable to get through neutral ice. Bobrovsky. Lund. Ellison. Lund. Ellison. Lund. Back and forth, they bounce the puck, and now Tanev had the shot that led to the first goal for Briarwood. He puts one on net, and a huge battle, or a huge fight, rather, by Tanev will lead to Jamie Benn going to the box. And we have 4-on-4 hockey as a fight was initiated, but no fight was made. So instead of 5-on-5, we now have 4-on-4. Ben and Tanev in the box separately. Jack Eichel now, 4-on-4. Rips one at the net himself. On Anderson. Big hit put on the play. 35 seconds remain in the 4-on-4. 3 minutes remain in the game. 22-5 in shots in favor of the Pharaohs. Face-off one. Morrissey rips one on net. Forsling has it for Greenhaven. Over to Kadri. Sissons. Both men out of the box. Jamie Benn off the breakaway. Rips one on net. This one sheltered wide. Puck bounces down the length of the ice back into the defensive zone. Picked up by David Pasternak. Chases it down the ice to Nazem Kadri. 3-on-1. 3-on-2 now. Drysdale. Puck is frozen and an empty net for Greenhaven as Materi covers that one, and it'll be 6-on-5. In the Greenhaven offensive zone, Jack Eichel facing Tage Thompson. Thompson wins it back to Ben. Desperate to get a goal to save this game, or save points rather. Back to Jamie Benn. Great tip. Jamie Benn with an excellent tip. And only 30 seconds remain in this one as we have a tie game. 37 seconds to be exact. And we return to 5-on-5 hockey with a tie game. And now Thompson winning some momentum. David Pasternak loses the puck. Tanev bodies Pasternak. Elias Pettersson, 25 seconds. Loses the puck to Ben. David Pasternak back the other way. Dangerous territory for the Pharaohs. Jack Eichel loses the puck. Tanev over to Morrissey. Dumping up to Pettersson. An icing call, the questionable call. 8 seconds remain. And I'm not sure I like that icing call, as it looked like both men were near enough to the play where they could have waved it off. Tage Thompson loses the puck to Pettersson. Ben holding it along the fence. And that will be the horn for the third period. So we have a 1-1 game. Both teams guaranteed a point. But who will come away with those desperate 3 is the question. We have 3-on-3 overtime. 5 minutes of play. Sudden death here in Briarwood. Ellison himself can't finish. Anderson, great save. Mula rips one off the crossbar. And it's unreal luck for Frederick Anderson. As this one is frozen by Anderson. And we'll have a face-off in the offensive zone for Briarwood. Ellison wins the face-off back to Mula. Rips one, he scores, and that's the game. Volta Mula, the German defenseman, with the game winner as Briarwood comes away with their first win of the season. An overtime victory over the Greenhaven Clovers. So the curse finally lifted. They have been unable to score in previous games, and finally a 2-1 victory in overtime off the stick of Volta Mula. That's all for October. We will join you in November back here at Midco Arena next week as the Pharaohs face the Lake Lorne Finns. Join us next week for that, for more Briarwood Pharaohs ice hockey.